Ever wonder how filament is made? Well, last November I found out. Let's take a look. Hi, I'm Luke. Today on Out of Darts, I wanted to show you a behind-the-scenes look at Proto-Pasta. I live in Vancouver, Washington, and Proto-Pasta is this great company who makes boutique, small batch filament, all made here locally. I was really surprised when I found out that they were so close to me here, and at first I actually thought it was Vancouver, BC, as in Canada, and it turns out it was just 10 miles away from me. So when I had the opportunity to take one of their workshops to make my own filament and get to see behind the scenes, I jumped on the opportunity. As you know, I go through a lot of filament, but I had never seen the process of how it was put together other than on some videos online. I was able to create my own colors, which I called Proton Purple and Sky Blue. Both have this glitter in them, which I really love, and at first they didn't turn out exactly what I intended to make, but part of the filament making process is that it's not a perfect science for how the dyes and the different colors take. And I've really fallen in love with this color, and now it's something that I'm hoping to get reproduced and put on the shop. They both have glitter, which gives them a really nice breakup of the lines, and the filament prints just beautifully when it's finally done, and I think that Proto-Pasta's filament itself is just spectacular. I'm also currently printing a whole new Caliburn in my custom colors, which has been a lot of fun to get something so unique. The process of filament making was really interesting. It starts with little beads of plastic, little bits of what look like broken up filament, and they essentially are. Now at Proto-Pasta, when they make filament, they first mix the different colors together and then they batch that in a process they call compounding, which is where the colors that you've got get mixed in perfectly together, all melted together, re-extruded, broken up again, and then those broken up pieces go to make your filament. Now the reason they do this is because it gives you more even colors batch to batch, roll to roll, and start of roll to end of the roll. As you can see on my small batch sample here, you'll actually see there are some striations here. Now this is nothing wrong with the filament they made, it's just the process of making such a small batch and not doing their normal compounding step. So for the workshop, first we mixed the filament colors and we got to work with the crew there to actually develop the color we wanted to, look at swatches and try to get in the color range, decide how much glitter, how much metallic, and pearlescence and other things that are in the filament, and it was really a really neat experience getting to put this together. After that, they carefully weighed out our plastic pellets to match the recipe, and then those were put into the extruder. Now the extruder is basically like a 3D printer. It heats up the plastic and it has an auger that pushes it out down the filament line, and then the filament line is pulled by the uptake spools, which are computer controlled and constantly monitor the thickness and the length so that you get a perfect roll at the end. Proto-Pasta makes some of the world's best filament. Their stuff is just gorgeous and their colors are all really unique that you really can't find anywhere else. I really like that their filament is very much a small handmade kind of shop. It's a very labor-intensive process because there are people running these machines all day long, and it had a very homemade feel to it because all of their machines and everything that they use seems to be custom made, down to this filament winder that wound up test batches and test swatches, and it was really kind of awesome to see because they're basically like filament hackers and filament modders, or filament making modders. I also got to hang out with Jesse and Jackie from FDL Project, FDL.com. They were there checking out the filament and even brought one of their FDL 3 blasters that had been printed in Proto-Pasta. And that blaster definitely got a lot of looks.
Oh. Yeah, I love that sound when it spools out.
The crew over at Proto-Pasta was just amazing. I really appreciate you opening up your business and letting us see inside this. This is not something that's normal. You will not see inside a lot of other production lines for things like this. Keith, you were fantastic, and we really appreciate the tour and all of your time. Their warehouse is just immaculately organized, and so having just moved into my first warehouse, more on that later, it really sort of influenced me on how things should be laid out and thinking about labeling and tidiness, and I'm definitely going to talk more about that in the future. I highly recommend this workshop if they do it again. I know it is a limited engagement, so they only do it a couple times a year, if even that often. You can find their filament at protopasta.com or proto-pasta. I will have the proper link in the description below. And I'd love to hear from you. What colors of filament do you love? I have a lineup right now in my shop of about 12 different colors, and we're always looking to add more. What would you like to see next? Potentially in a Jupiter. I am considering doing sort of a limited release where we do some Proto-Pasta filaments. Is that something anybody would be interested in? Let me know in the comments, and there are going to be a lot more videos to come. There are a lot of big changes coming in the shop. For anybody that's listened this far, I figure I'll tell you a little bit about that. I have officially moved out of my house because the business was totally taking over my home, my life, getting in the way of everything, and we were just running out of space. So, while this wall here looks the same, none of the rest of this room looks the same. There are no printers in my home right now, and this garage is totally empty. There's no inventory here. So I'm really excited for the rest of this year. Can't wait to see you all at End War and Ragnarok Oktoberfest, and I'll be at the Minneapolis game in May. We are still shipping 6 days a week, and really excited to offer even better service and more products, and just a ton more to come, and I'm really excited for 2019. A lot more videos too. I know I've been a few weeks late. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm out of darts.